All right, there we go. I think we're live now. Hey,
What's
what's going
up?
on, everybody? Yo, Not Joe Fogo is the first person in the room with us. What's going on? It's the Red Cup Review. Welcome to the show. As always, please like the video. And if you're new here, subscribe because we got the best damn no-frill show on the internet. And we are joined tonight. Well, I'm joined tonight, as always, by my partner in crime, Baz.
What's up, motherfuckers?
And we are also joined by Mr. Brandon and Mr. Phil from Zaid Comics, and they created a comic, Magic Cop, right? So we're going to talk about Magic Cop for a little bit, and then they're going to talk collectibles and statues with us because they're collectors just like the rest of us are.
Yeah.
So let's keep it moving right to the point why we're all here together, everybody. Guys, what is Magic Cops? What is Zaid Comics? Give us a breakdown of what this whole thing is. What are your roles in there?
Cool. So yeah, Brandon and I started Zaid Comics and kind of like putting out indie comics about 7 years ago. And then we took a break for a while, and now we're back. Have a lot of planned with making comics. And Magic Cop is our first one. It's kind of the brainchild of a weird situation. Brandon and I work in the arcade industry, and we kind of came up with Brandon pulled the title for Magic Cop out of nowhere, thinking it was a game that already existed. So this comic actually started as an idea for an arcade game, and it basically mashes the style and aesthetic of Miami Vice from the 1980s with kind of like magic and monsters, like Halloween Town, if you've ever seen that movie from Disney, where it's just this world of fantastical magic beings. So mashing those two themes together, coming up with Magic Cop. Yeah, and if you guys have ever seen it, we could actually pull up the page right here.
I already got
show
you, bro.
some
One step ahead of it. As you're talking, I'm pulling it up.
Sweet, yeah. So this is the first in a series of books. You're gonna get 92 pages. So it's like a thick graphic novel here. As you can see, we're hitting that 1980s Miami Vice theme right off the bat with this beautiful cover by Pablo Romero. And the story revolves around this new Magic Cop on the scene. His name's Iggy Cromwell, and he's straight out of the academy. He gets thrown into his first case. He has to work with his new Wolfman partner, who's on the verge of retirement, as the murder of a mermaid prostitute. And from there, he's a large active hustle character.
I love that.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're pulling from a lot of 80s tropes and making a new story out of it.
The
hold on. Who's the green bitch?
So she's a witch. Her name.
Oh, she's a witch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She's another detective in
Kelly.
the kind of like Vice Squad, which we call the Night Squad. But yeah, she's a detective that works with them, and she has her own partner.
She goes
as
under.
well.
Awesome.
She goes undercover as the prostitute to try to bring down the prostitution ring.
As soon as I
just love that storyline. That's awesome.
As soon as I saw that you guys sent this to me, I immediately was thought like this would look great as the Grand Theft Auto cover where it's like a bunch of different little pictures. It would look awesome with the Magic Cop with the all the different pictures.
The little different scenes and stuff.
That's where my mind went as soon as I saw this. So. All right, you guys are brothers, right? You guys are related. Okay, so like, first of all, arcades, as far as we know over here in New York, are pretty much dead. So how do you guys work in arcades to get your stuff that kind of launches this? Like, bring us to the beginning so we could launch into where this now.
So in 2010, they opened up the arcade over here called Galloping Ghost Arcade, and then we started going there as patrons, just because we like playing video games and stuff. And then I started working there as a technician. And then from then, just with my artistic background and my engineering background, kind of worked my way up to working on the productions video game design end side of the company. And Phil came on while I was working as a technician there, fixing games as well. So Phil started working there too. And then when I moved over to productions, Phil came over as a video editor in productions, And then so we share an office there now, and you know, we work on graphic design and stuff like that. And then so early on, before we all really started working on productions, the arcade had a really nice big back room area with a green screen, and so that's how we started working on the first Zaid Comics comic book series called The Silhouette. And back then, what we did was we used film or take pictures of ourselves on the green screen, chroma key the background out, and then put them into like a 3D background, and then throw some photo filters over it and do some redrawing on there and make it look like a comic book. So we had 2 issues of those.
Is that sort of like, that sounds like new age rotoscoping?
Yeah. Basically, that's what it was. I'm sure Phil has some samples if you guys are interested in looking at that. That's some really old stuff. That was like 2011, 2012, which is not old by any means, but for Zaid Comics, that was the origin of it. And then from there, we just kept evolving. And like Phil was saying, Magic Cop was kind of born as an accident. I was kind of, I needed a product for a video game, and I couldn't remember what he said, you know, and I'm kind of goofy. So I was just like, oh, it's like Magic Cop or something like that. And then we loved the title so much that we were like, what can we do with this? I think this would be a really good video game. And I, at the time, this was a couple of years ago, just thinking like, man, the 80s are going to be huge and the aesthetic is so cool. And we just adopted that whole thing and we just pushed forward with it. When we did the video game, we didn't get greenlit for the video game, but we started production on it. We started like some character sprites and animations. We had the game plan layout and everything like that for it. And so we really dove into like a story for a side-scrolling arcade beat 'em up, like 4 players. So that's why the characters, there's 4 main detectives, and they all kind of share these like old school 90s beat 'em up attributes. So Magic Cop Iggy, he's like your generic guy, and then you kind of have like your other generic guy who's a little bit bulkier, and then you have like, your hot chick, and then you have like your big muscular guy, which we really haven't seen too much here, but you know, those are the 4 character archetypes. And then when we were going through the game, of course you need a lot of villains. So Phil ended up designing a ton of villains for the game, you know, and I would do the character like designs. And then we just were like, well, the game's not going to get greenlit right now. My drawing's getting better. I'm having a lot of fun doing a lot more art and pinups and stuff. And, you know, let's try to do a serial. You know, let's see how we could do with sequentials and go from there. So we drew a 12-page preview issue for it. And then once that looked phenomenal, we found an amazing colorist, Eugene Bativu, and it just kind of all came together. We were like, we got to go ahead and do a campaign for Indiegogo, especially with comicsgate, you know, pushing a tailwind on everybody and, you know, lifting everybody up together. It was just like the perfect storm of everything coming together to make Magic Cop happen.
That's freaking all. Yeah, when I was talking to Phil earlier in the week, I had mentioned when he had mentioned arcade games and kind of gave me the breakdown, I had thought of Streets of Rage.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, this would be this, you know, guys, you guys get this is perfect for even like an app. I mean, my phone could fucking emulate anything now.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
I mean, shit, this is like, you know, like if you guys get good with the funding in this, why the hell not? I mean,
exactly. We would totally run ahead with doing it as a video game. You know, we took a lot of inspiration from Double Dragon. We have a ton of games at the arcade, you know, Ninja Turtles, X-Men, Double Dragon. I mean, Streets of Rage wasn't an arcade game, but Bad Dude, stuff like that. You know, we went there, looked at what we liked about those games, and then we put that into Magic Cop, and then, you know, did some more, expanded on it. But, you know, that is just the way that was. So now we have this 92-page graphic novel for everybody to get their hands on, which I think is going to be a lot cooler, because imagine now you're going to have a story, and then if the video game ever gets made, like how often was there a really solid story to any arcade game?
Yeah.
You know, and this is going to have like stories after stories after stories, chapters after chapters, and then when the game comes out, it's gonna be like, oh, there's this game based on this really, really successful comic book.
Right. Yeah, and
We haven't seen
I can
years.
almost see it feeding off of one another because it's almost
Exactly.
like now that like the 80s is like a big resurgence, especially ever since like Stranger Things, right? Like that was like that set it off. Now everybody wants to be back in the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
It seems like if there was a comic to come out for like Final Fight or a Streets of Rage, I might be like, oh, I might check that shit out, especially if it was like more in depth and not just
Yeah.
now that you guys are already starting with the story, you're gonna have a leg up on that. So if anybody happened to even miss the comic and the game came out, they get a chance to go back and be like, oh shit, and it's that depth of character development and
Yeah.
there's more for them to eat up,
Yeah, you hit it on the head. It's exactly right. We have that both are going to create their own foundation, assuming we make the game, the foundation for video gamers, like just catching their eye and walking past that arcade cabinet, they're going to see it and they're going to get into that and be like, oh, there's a comic book. And then other people, they're going to be in the comics and then it might drive them to go play games at the arcade, which is going to be cool too.
This Jay Belk, what's up, Jay? Says it would look cool. It would make a really cool Telltale type game too, from what they're seeing. So you see, people's imaginations are already,
Yeah.
their own adventure style. Even that would be cool. I mean, shit. I like the character designs. Me and Baz were talking earlier. He had mentioned the wolf or the dog-like character. It reminded me a little bit of like a Han Solo Chewbacca type thing. So
Sure.
it's like it might not be that, but it's like a familiarity, but it's new.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a huge proponent of like really, really good character design. You try to get like, excellent familiarity going on with your characters, but something that sets them to make them unique to where, you're not looking at, one of these guys where it's just like, oh, that's just like a skeleton guy or something. He's designed specifically for this comic book, but not in a really overcomplicated way, something that anybody could cosplay as, Ignatius, our main character, it's not going to be super hard to cosplay as him, but he's going to be easily recognizable because he has the wizard sleeves, the sunglasses, stuff like there's going to be a lot of stuff that sets him apart. And then because of the generic and familiarity nature of the characters, it allows the fans and the readers, to have to like build on stuff in their own mind about the character too. Oh, I would love to see this, like the Telltale game. That's awesome that there's interest in things like that.
So who's the skeleton guy? The guy with the skeleton face. What's his story?
Yeah, that's he's our big bad guy. His name's Bone Daddy-O.
I love the fucking names.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So we see him here. This is like before his big reveal. He actually, all of his bones glow neon color. So he's very 80s style. He's like an islander. So he's got like a Jamaican accent, and he's the one that is kind of trafficking these mermaids into the city from the islands and then, getting them surgery so they could walk and selling them off as prostitutes.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit, that's fucking awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, he was one of our it's kind of like sub boss characters you'd fight in the game. So if you guys get the ash can, which is in our featured perk, it's like a 30 plus page book that has a bunch of behind the scenes material in it. Basically, you'll see the original concept for him that he was going to look like in the game, and then you'll see his new version of how he looks now. Gives backstories, and it also has that 12-page pilot issue in it.
What exactly is an ash can to somebody who's kind of like new to stuff? Is
Sure.
What is it?
Yeah, I mean, not too long ago, I didn't know what an ash can was. You just hear it sometimes, but basically, ash cans back in the day were a lot of times like promo material, like smaller comic books that were probably like 12 to 16 pages long. That would be a short story, or would kind of talk about the process of you creating something. And they're called ash cans because you'd read them and then you'd throw them away in the garbage can. They're just like burner books. But now with these Indiegogos and stuff, people are bringing them back for maybe little extra short stories that you pair with the book for a little bit the pricier perk. And for us, we're putting a lot of like back information about the creation of the video game, the production we were into on that. And we're actually putting a lot of the fan art from the community. We've had a ton of awesome fan art come in that we want to showcase. So we're putting some of the fan art from our awesome fans in there and putting their little social media tags in there so people could get familiar with them, and hopefully they get some work in the future as well in the comic industry.
Yeah, no, that's man smart too. It just helps, it helps with promotion and everything else too. It's very, very nice, very cool stuff.
Who's Door Kickers? I never heard of them.
Oh,
it's
so
like another.
Yeah, it's another CG book. That if you scroll up a little bit, we have a crossover print with them. So Door Kickers was a comic book put out by a guy named Scott McCullough, and he's been on the the CG stream circuit. He's in demand right now, but we're running this little promotion. If you guys back Magic Cop and Door Kickers, you get this beautiful, fully colored print by an awesome artist named Ted Lehman. We have the Door Kickers guys who are like these military guys that use magic in the real world and hunt down magical creatures, very much more military based. And then on the other side is our Magic Cop guys, kind of like if they kind of jumped in through their 2 dimensions to fight this busty, sexy succubus chick.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. I'm looking at the picture. I'm staring at it.
Sure, man. Well, that's the awesome thing about CG is there were a bunch of passionate creators that just want to see the best for each other, and so this was a way to help each other out and spread the word about both campaigns. And yeah, if whoever has backed Door Kickers and Magic Copper is going to get one of these prints totally for free.
What you guys are brothers, right? So
yeah.
I would imagine I used to work with my brother as well. We used to be in a music group together, and we were, best friends. We still are, but it doesn't come without its set of bullshit, So, well, listen, man, I identify with that. So, how is that creating something from your perspective when you guys? Because obviously, one is the artist, one is the writer, right? So, the creative process. I mean, give us like a juicy story or something,
Phil and I. We're together all the time. We share an office. We go out to lunch all the time. We hang out all the time. We go to the gym all the time. We're always shooting ideas back and forth. We have a really tight family structure here, just in general. So like, there's always the problem. Growing up, tit for tat, stuff like that. We're adults now, and occasionally get on each other's nerves. But at the end of the day, 10 minutes later, what does it matter? We're working on an awesome project together. We get to do something super cool that, we love doing. And, Phil does his writing. That is what he's passionate about. And so he gets, we'll consult on stuff, but he gets free reign on doing that stuff. He'll come to me and be like, hey, what do you think of this? Does this sound cool? Or anything like that. And it's exactly the same with me. I'll go to him and be like, how do you feel about this design? Or like, I'm thinking about changing, he'll write something in the script, and then I'll be like, it doesn't work from this camera angle that you want. Or like, this can't happen in one panel. What do you think of this? And it's just like, a little bit back and forth, because what's there to complain about? Like, we get to do something super, super cool, get to do it with your brother, and we get to hang out all the time. It's like working with your best friend.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Not a lot of people could say that. It's a rarity that you get. Sometimes siblings, they just want to strangle each other.
Yeah,
it happens. But at the end of the day, what is it? What's the point?
No, hells yeah, I understand. I went through that shit for fucking 15 years with my brother.
Yeah.
The creating and doing stuff together. Yeah, it's really cool, man. I like the idea. That's what kind of like also sold me on the idea that there was 2 brothers working together and coming together and doing this, because it's like something that I did, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What why I don't know. Well, I would ask you like why the 80s, but I mean you guys kind of already went over that. Like, all right, so tell us a little bit more about your like how you guys got involved with arcade games. Like, I don't understand. Like there's like you guys are actually developing arcade games, or like
yeah.
How the hell does that even come to be?
So working at the arcade, like this guy, Doc Mack, he's the owner of the arcade. They opened an arcade back in 2010. And, before that, they were working on video games. Like he wanted to develop his own Mortal Kombat game, but called, it's a different fighting game. They opened the arcade. We subsequently started working there because we're video game fans. We're young, we're guys. So we go there, start playing games, really get into that and stuff. Now what we do is we work on the production side. So we have the video game production element of the arcade. So Phil and I have worked on a number of, not like a ton of games. We worked on a handful of games that, we've, that have not come out. A couple of them come out in small release. We're working on like a bigger project right now. So we're surrounded by the world of video games, arcade games, and classic arcade industry. Mm-hmm. So like we're fortunate enough to be friends with and know a lot of like the former Mortal Kombat actors from the video games that do a lot of like the modeling for the fighting moves. We know like Brian Colin, who designed Rampage and like Xenophobe and stuff back in the day. Jeff Lee, who designed and created Q*bert, the original Q*bert games back in the day. So like we're surrounded by all these people that are just like geniuses of the arcade industry. So when we were fortunate enough to have the opportunity to even try to pursue the idea of creating a video game of our own, we did it before. We tried to create a game called Fish in a Barrel, which is like a light gun game where you'd shoot down into this barrel and shoot at fish that were like cycling around and stuff. Unfortunately, the technology just didn't work out for us at the time. Shooting down at a screen, very difficult to do. But then doing Magic Hop is a lot easier. But we just really are fortunate to have the opportunities because of the people that we're surrounded by, because of the industry that we work in right now.
How do you get caught up in something like that? As far as like, did you guys go to school for this? Did you go to school for writing and design and art?
No, not at all. Phil can talk about his writing thing about that. Myself, I did a lot of science in high school, and then I ran out of science classes, but I was still in high school. So I took a lot of art classes. And then when I got out of high school, I went to do medical stuff. But then after a while, I was like, it's not for me, but I know how to do art. I'm a graphic designer just by trade, and like a logo designer, and just general graphic design and stuff. But I didn't go to any formal training for any of that stuff. But because of the kind of slow entrance to the arcade industry that we got in this small company that we work for, it's very easy to climb the ladder if you're a very, very intelligent, self-motivated person that's willing to learn new things, and that's exactly what happened with us. So we just climb, and then eventually we're just, at the pinnacle of the company, and having the opportunity to design our own video game.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Phil. So what are you reading, Phil, and where do you get your inspiration from? What do you do right before you're going to sit down? You're going to write the next 92 pages of Magic Hop, and what the hell are you looking at for inspiration?
All right. Well, I'm always reading different stuff. So probably in the last 2 months, I'd say in the last month, I haven't really been reading a lot of new things because this past year I had been picking up new stuff. I read a lot of DC, but it seems to be degrading and more than usual. So I kind of stopped. I haven't been to my local comic shop since the new year.
You heard about that 5K? You heard about 5K? What they're trying to do with DC?
No.
They're going to put all different people into into the characters. Like there's going to be a new Wonder Woman. There's going to be a new Batman.
Oh, really?
Jonathan Kent, Clark Kent's son, is going to take over Superman. So they're replacing all the superhero characters with new identities.
So they're gonna
Green Lantern's going to be a black female.
Yeah, they're gonna make.
They're doing what Marvel did like a few years ago when they started going woke.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, and I'm looking at stuff that Marvel's doing now, and it's like, why even buy a Marvel comic now? Do you see that stuff they're doing with Children of the Atom? They're making Gambit like this black chick, and
Yeah.
Phil's a huge Gambit fan.
yeah.
If-
So
I'll
that
tell
was
you what though,
I always,
if that's a separate thing, if that's its own thing, like away from Earth
5K?
6 or no, like he's
Yeah.
talking about the Marvel thing, like if it's its own
Okay.
thing, like in Elseworlds or like part of the multiverse, then I'm cool with that type of shit as long as it's like optional material. You know what I'm saying? But to arbitrarily just up and change everybody is where I kind of like that's where my comicsgate wheels start turning because I'm kind of like I just have my toe in the movement a little bit. Baz is more involved.
I'm sorry, it's called 5G, not 5K.
Oh, 5G.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
5G, yeah.
No, yeah, I haven't heard of that, but I've definitely noticed the degrading of their stories. I'm a huge Lobo fan. I have my Lobo shirt on today, but so he's come up in like the new Teen Titans books, and there was actually this amazing one shot by Tim Seeley and Kyle Holtz called Dark Knights Metal, or no, Tales from the Dark Multiverse. And Lobo was in it. He was a big part of it, and it was kick ass, man. Kyle Holtz is
It's
one
Tim
of my.
Sale and art.
Tim Seeley wrote it. Kyle
Tim
Holtz,
Seeley, okay.
yeah. No, yeah. And Kyle Holtz is the artist, and he's one of my favorite mainstream artists. Like he needs his own Lobo miniseries, but they're putting him on Justice League Dark now, which I'll probably start picking up. But other than doing reviews of comics on my channel, I reviewed the new Mask comic by by Dark Horse, The Mask, and it's hyper political, and it is bags on America so hard. It makes me sick, man. So I reviewed that.
Well, that's why we have comicsgate, right?
Yeah, definitely. But the stuff that I'm reading the old Mask series from the 90s. It's awesome. Hyper violent, really funny, great character. Doing reviews on that. Other than that, the way that I kind of like get in the mood for writing, to all honesty, is like I'll have the idea of like, okay, this is the next scene I want to do. I'll go in the shower and think about it in the shower, and then hop out, dry off, and then start writing. Kind of lay everything out in my head. But yeah, I love comics. I love Swamp Thing, Alan Moore, all that stuff. Hellboy, I'm a huge Hellboy fan. Love Mignola's
Do you ever find yourself taking inspiration from things not necessarily related to comics? Like for example, this is from my end. I do the action figure reviews, right? So like I'm in the process of reviewing this hot toy right here, the Two-Face hot toy, right? That just came out. So what I'll do for pose inspirations, right? I'll just like go on my phone and look at I'll just type in an actor's name and try to get a screen grab from a movie that they were in, that like a guy in a suit, and then I'll pose him according to that and see if I can mimic that. So I'll try to grab my inspirations from things like that, So is there anything outside of comics that maybe you draw from?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a huge fan of mythology. I took a mythology class in college, and it like blew my mind. And for a while I wanted to be a mythology teacher. And then I'm like, why don't I make my own mythology and be a comic book writer? So I'll put a lot of references to that, allusions to a bunch of different like Greek mythology, a bunch of different pantheons. If you guys pay attention, you'll see some Easter eggs and stuff and inspirations in Magic Cop, even though it's so colorful. There's a lot of that in there. And, as you could see, a lot of inspiration from video games too, arcade games. Like Brandon was saying, these four characters are based around those archetypes from side-scrolling beat 'em ups, like you were saying, like Streets of Rage. And as a creator, you find inspiration all around you. That's why the best part is like I find myself now seeing movies that I wouldn't normally see, just because I'm like, okay, we'll see if I could find something that gives a different point of view of something, so I could write more interestingly.
Have you guys been involved in Comicsgate ever caught any shit? I know like the big deal with Comicsgate is being on Twitter, right? And I tried the Twitter thing and it just didn't work out. I had to get the fuck off there. It's just like,
I don't blame you.
So yeah, I'm like, my friends call me grandpa because I'm on Facebook all the time, and I'm like, yo, fuck
Yeah.
that shit. So when you guys have you guys ever caught any shit from anti-Comicsgaters? If you have, how do you deal with that? How do you answer? Because it doesn't look like Magic Cop has any of that. Like, there's no far right Nazi, flag waving going on from what I can see here. So how do you answer the nonsense that's on the other side?
Well, first off, you look at most all Comicsgate projects, there's none of that stuff. It's all a figment of anti-CG's imagination.
Right.
Fortunately, I don't think we have been big enough yet to catch stuff from anti-CG. Like I said, fortunately, there's much bigger guys than us that kind of take the arrows and shield the smaller guys. So we're grateful about that. But we've definitely felt it from me personally, people I know that don't know what CG is, and they think it's just this hate group that hates diversity and doesn't support LGBTQ community, which is not at all. And I've had a person that I thought was my friend and was really excited about Magic Cop because he is a huge comic book fan, and I would share images and be like, "Oh, this is the comic I'm doing," and he was pumped for it. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. Let me know when you start your YouTube channel." And he was watching my YouTube stuff about the comic, and then I started, becoming more involved in Comicsgate and hashtagging it, and then someone probably was like, "Oh, you know what Comicsgate is?" and then told them. And then one day I messaged him a new page of Magic Cop. I'm like, "Oh, check this out. What do you think?" And then he sent me this paragraph of, I don't support, people that don't like diversity in comic books, and I can't retweet or like any of your stuff. And I'm like, I was, just seeing what you thought of my work, man. You used to be all about it. And he's like, yeah.
I was reading, I don't know if it was the Dark Side War or it was one of those books that Ethan was working on right before he left DC, I think. And I didn't even know he created the female Green Lantern. He had a hand in that.
Yeah.
Just for proof.
Yeah.
And I was reading this and I was like, yo, this fucking comic is awesome. And I actually I tweeted that out. I was like, yo, this is how you do a female character the right way. This character is fucking great. And they were like, people hit me back on, yeah, Ethan created that. The guy who's anti everything. And I was like, we like Ethan. And I was like, yeah, man, that's the fucking way you do it. They don't have a leg to stand on. It's ridiculous. But if you're not pissing somebody off, you're not doing it right, I guess. I've had people comment on this channel too, saying like, your fucking videos are whack or you whatever, like, just attacks and stuff. And it's sometimes
just existing pisses people off. What are you doing?
Sure.
You gotta just smile and nod and be like, you know what? You took the time out of your day to fucking type this horrible shit. So congratulations, thanks.
Well, I'm just sick of the whole culture, like around like our hobbies now just involves like, is this character gonna be gay? Shipping characters, is Poe and Finn gonna fuck each other? And we need more women directors on this movie. Forget about like, is it gonna be good? Are you gonna write a good movie? Is it it's all about like identity fucking politics. I mean, and that's how you get like Rose Tico, who fucks up a whole fucking trilogy of a movie. It doesn't belong in a Star Wars movie. Please, she's a C-list Star Trek character. So yeah, I'm just tired of that. All this shipping bullshit. Captain America and Bucky. Is Captain America gonna fuck Bucky in the ass? Come on. I want a good Captain America story. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's
going to be good. If a woman is a good director, and fine. Who's that chick who directed Punisher Warzone?
Oh yeah,
I didn't even know that was. She was awesome.
There's a female director on 3 episodes of the new Mandalorian series, and they were great.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but don't just hire anybody just because they have a vagina.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what the hobby's turning into. It's just all this superficial shit.
Right.
Instead of like, are you getting a good director? Are you getting a good artist? Are you it's all about identity now, and that's got to stop. I'm sick of it. So
we have here, the platform of comicsgate, whatever the name is of the collective that we're in, and it's not about doing anything, by a certain set of guidelines or anything that anybody thinks is the right way of doing stuff. It's like, hey man, you want to write a comic book and draw a comic book, do it, and sell it and make money and do it again. And if people like it, they're gonna buy it. If they don't like it, then you tried, and do something else. But you're here doing what you love, and you're not here living by a code, or to appease the masses or the minority or whatever. You're just doing what you're doing, and that's awesome. That's the freedom. That's the freedom of the United States. As far as I'm concerned, and that's awesome.
So, B, your brother is a collector. Do you have anything you collect?
Hold on, why are you calling him B? Is that your nickname for him?
Brandon. I'm like, yo, what's up, B? What the fuck? I gotta say his multiple syllable name every time I address him. Come on.
Do you have a nickname, Brandon? Is
No.
there anything like Squeaky, something, anything?
B now.
Okay.
I've been called B before because I was a huge B. Arthur fan, before.
So are we.
Yeah,
Oh my
awesome.
God. See how we all meet each other? It's amazing.
No.
Well, we all loved her in the Star Wars holiday special. So
I don't
we're
know.
hoping for her to show up in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I have statues. I get statues from Phil's gifts a lot. But like, I don't know. I'm not like a super collector. I have a lot of art up. Like in my office, I used to have a lot of art up on the walls, like kind of like you have behind you there. But I have a couple of cool statues. I have like I have a Space Ghost statue done by Cipriano. That's one of 25. That's like
Space Ghost, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's super cool. Unfortunately, the shelf fell off the wall and the arm got cracked.
That's why I don't buy friggin' statues, man. Because I know me. I come home drunk and I start throwing punches and I'll knock something over. I like to shadow box when I'm drunk. So sometimes I'll punch the air. Boom! There goes the statue. $1,000 on the floor.
Yeah, it wasn't that much. It was more of the pain in the soul because it was such a limited thing, and then it's cracked. I mean, you could barely see the hairline because it had a nice maquette inside of it. But you put the arm back on, it looks pretty cool. I could grab it. It's right over there if you want.
So, were you a fan of the Hanna-Barbera stuff, like those cartoons?
I love the Space Ghost design but like, obviously I'm way too young to have seen that, but I love that style. And, it never really dawned on me. Like, I get this question a lot of like, what's your inspiration for art and stuff like that, and, you get a lot of people who are like, Jack Kirby or, guys from the 90s or late 80s and stuff like that. And, for me, art design or like drawing and stuff, to me, I have to enjoy it. I don't want to be sitting there drawing capillaries on people's arms, and stuff like that. Like, it's not fun, but thinking about it, the simplicity of the design of like the old Hanna-Barbera stuff is really where I lean toward when I do my sequential art for comic books. And though
it looks simple, though, you have to get the proportions for it to look right.
Right.
There's a trick to it.
And but you're not overdoing it. And so like the Space Ghost character design is so brilliant because, if you know who he is, he's unmistakable. And it's almost like he's so generic, but so iconic. And I love that about an amazing character design. And
that's Alex Toth. That's Alex Toth, the artist to design them.
It's just awesome. It's so cool. And I used to watch Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and
so I know him.
yeah. So I love that character, but like I never really caught the show or anything like that.
There's a Mezco figure out for him also too.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's nice. All right, guys, give everybody the rundown about Magic Cop one last time, and let's get into some collectibles. Where we finding this?
Phil does the best job.
Yeah, so head on over to Indiegogo. Magic Cop is 92 pages. It's 4 chapters. It's going to be a thick graphic novel. It's about Iggy Cromwell. He's a new Magic Cop on the scene. His wand is passed down generation to generation, and he's promoted directly to Detective of the Night Division of Ambrosia PD. And he's investigating the murder of a mermaid prostitute with the help of his Wolfman partner. Magic Cop consists of fast cars, hot beach babes, and even hotter crime, and the only detective with the spells to stop it is Magic Cop.
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
So back it today,
I'm definitely back.
I'm do the fucking intro to all my videos.
I'm back in Magic Cop, and I still have to get Cecil's cash grab.
Oh yeah, that one's blowing up, man. Yeah. And we just got these in today. These are sketch cards that Hold
on. Let me I'm gonna zoom you in. Go ahead.
So Joe Ball, he's the artist on Superhero, a good friend of ours. He did sketch cards for the campaign, and we just put them up today. This one sold earlier today, and then when we just got on the stream, this one sold, Helly, the Witch. Wow. So the last one is Magic Cop, and that's available on our campaign that you guys could grab up. And it's the last one, guys. So whoever is in the chat that wants to back the book, grab that sketch card also.
That's fucking cool as hell, man. Good shit. All right, guys, you guys gonna stick around and take a look at some collectibles or what?
Yeah.
All right.
I'd love to.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I got one question. Do mermaid prostitutes smell extra fishy, or is there a way to cover that up, like a magic spell?
You'll have to wait and read about it, brother.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. This went up for pre-order this week. Baz, did you pick up your Conan Mezco 112 Collective?
Listen, after what happened to me with the ordering for the Mezco on their site, getting charged 5 times for the NRD.
Christ, yeah.
Oh, no.
I had to call up today and get another NRD removed from the Batman.
Oh, see what I mean? So I'm maybe I'll get this later down the line.
Right.
It looks awesome. I just hope he's not like $300 when I decide to buy him on the secondary.
Yeah, no, I know on the secondary market. I don't know if this guy's going to jump up like that. However, Popeye did jump up, so I don't know. It's sometimes they're hit and miss with their like these type of characters that aren't like mainstream Marvel DC bullshit. But I kind of like what sold me on this, because I just needed something else to fucking review for the channel, and it's Conan for Christ's sakes, was the snarling face, because I wasn't that crazy about the regular head sculpt down here. So when I saw this one, I was like, all right, that's Conan right there. So I picked
the
weapon.
Nice sculpt.
Yeah, well, this is the Frazetta. This is, I guess, their take on the Frazetta Conan.
Sure, he's got the earrings.
Yeah, it shows too.
When I first saw this at New York Comic Con live and in person, I was like, he's way too muscular. He looks like a fucking roadmap. It's like a little bit too much going on, but the pictures, sold it on me. You see what like the face like this with all the muscles, veining out was like kind of, I guess, like didn't sit right with me when he's doing his snarl face. I was like, all right, this is cool. Like I could see him fucking taking somebody out. I love the weapons and the cloak and the 2 different material. Like they found a way. Mezco is notorious, guys, for doing, I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. They do like 6-inch versions of Hot Toys, like cloth goods 6-inch action figures. And I like the idea that they were able to do like incorporate that with the figure by doing like the 2 different loincloths and the cloak and shit. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
So, Phil, you say you're big into mythology. You get into Conan? He's kind of like a mythological.
Conan is generations behind me. I never really got into it. Love Frazetta, and I love his artwork. I have a buddy passion for drawing who's doing an awesome comic called Doom Fate. It's about a barbarian babe. He's a great artist, and he did some sketch cards for us. He's a huge Conan fan, and he was showing me some of the old Buscema Conan comics, like the old magazines. They look awesome, and I really want to get into them.
You fucking guys are making me feel old now, and all I do is feel young all the time because I'm the youngest dude amongst all of my friends.
Yeah.
But like by years. And you know, I'm you guys are doing like an 80s comic, so you guys can't be that much fucking younger. And if you're saying Conan's before your time, you never got into the Arnold Conan. That first movie was fucking awesome, bro.
Dude, I'm 26.
Oh shit, you guys are fucking babies, bro.
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm 37. I'll be 38 in 2 weeks. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too much older. I'm 31, so.
All right. Well, that's cool. Well, so you guys are like, oh yeah, you guys got a little bit of time between you. Me and my brother got about 7 years between us. Me and Bassett got around like what we got like 7, 8, like 8 or 9 years between us. But all right. So Baz, what final thoughts? Thumbs up, thumbs down from what you're seeing on
freaking excellent. But like, are they going to make somebody else like for him to fight or put on the shelf with? You know, that's the only thing. Like,
I would kind of hope that they do that. I always love that. That they actually have a picture of it in here too. This is one of my favorite Frazetta paintings. What they tried to recreate here, where he's fighting this like monkey looking thing.
Cool.
That would be really cool if they created that character and so you could like recreate this scene or something. But then again, if they're doing the Conan, what else could they possibly do? I mean, it would be nice if they were to do like a Death Dealer. I know that's not Conan, but that would
be that'd be cool.
All right, so let's see.
Or just like a hot Frazetta girl with a big ass that he could throw over his shoulder.
Oh yeah, now
that would be great.
Right there.
Fucking video is getting demonetized. Let me tell you. All right, so we're gonna go screen share again.
Real.
Go to the Chrome tab. Sideshow collectibles. We're gonna go through some Sideshow shit. All right, so this was the big news of the week. The Child was released last night or 2 weeks ago, and it crashed the Sideshow website for hours.
Really? Wow.
Hours. The site had completely crashed. People were apparently going fucking nuts over this thing. When here's the funny thing. So Sideshow announces this. Now this is being done by what's the studio that's doing this shit? It's a life-size figure. And let's see, it's being done by Legacy Effects. So they're doing the sculpt, the mold, and the cast. They actually, and the paint and the cut and the sew. That's the company that actually designed it for the TV show. So if you buy this, it's basically as close as you're going to get to an exact replica of the figure itself or the statue. And yesterday morning or something like that, Hot Toys announced that they're doing a Cos Baby, a 6th scale, a 4th scale. Every fucking scale version of this thing is getting done a day after Sideshow announces theirs. So there's like this, they're wondering if there was like, Sideshow's trying to like one up, that Sideshow. Hot Toys trying to one up Sideshow on this. So everybody already just put in their NRDs for their pre-orders on this. And now that they're like, oh God, Hot Toys is doing it. And you're like, well, Hot Toys is going to be better. But then again, you're not going to get much better than the company that actually designed the goddamn thing for the TV show. So, and it looks pretty spot on, And at $350, I guess that's like a pretty good price. I don't know. I'm not pre-ordering it. If I get a Baby Yoda, it's going to be with a Beskar armored Mandalorian Hot Toy, if that happens to get released. I know mad people that were going like nuts over this. So anybody in the fucking chat, if you're ordering this shit, make sure you do it through the link in the Facebook page, because shit, I got to make money somehow, right?
Yeah, it helps out everybody.
I'm gonna need new fucking lights for my like the lights that I use to light up the videos that I do. I think one of them's starting to dim, so that would help. Let's see.
I'm actually that Yoda. I'm surprised it's not more expensive.
Yeah, so am I. That like the price point on that is actually pretty damn good, for a life size thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much the life size Groot was. I know that Legacy Collectibles, I think, like did that one as well. But this has no articulation. This is a straight up static figure. Whereas and then Hot Toys are like, oh no, ours is going to be able to move and hold the cup and put the frog in his mouth and all that shit.
Plug it in his mouth.
All right, so these other things went up for pre-order this week. The Dynamic Duo we were looking at last week, Baz, went up for pre-order today, actually. And it's $150 for the signed. Like I called it. I said this is going to be at least $100 for the signed, unframed, and for the framed $350. It's about $200 for professional framing. I'm not that crazy about the framing that they chose for this, though. The reason why I'm looking at this is because I absolutely love this fucking piece. So I don't know. I think it needed a little bit more color in the frame. I wouldn't have went with this double bezel design that they got going on here. So if I do get it, it's definitely going to be the unframed, and then I'll just go and I'll have it framed.
Who's the artist on that?
That's Alex Ross, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
One of those pieces, Alex Ross's pieces up here, and then it's signed by Bob Kane.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. What? Wow.
Holy shit!
That's crazy.
You have that?
I don't. It's just like a print, but it's
okay.
on my wall over here. Yeah, I don't have the original.
Yeah, I was gonna say me and Baz have like Bob Kane is like
What?
Our existence.
I do have a really short line to Alex Ross if need be.
Yeah,
so.
he's come to the arcade a bunch of times.
Really?
Yeah, he's in the area. So he actually donated a Superman arcade cabinet to the arcade. Some of the guys, the owner, went to his place to pick it up. And yeah, I mean, yeah, he's come out a bunch of times.
He didn't give it to us. He let us borrow so we could capture it. Our arcade cabinet is like the side of it is like a particular shape. So it's just the side of this never released Judge Dredd arcade prototype game, just the side with the printed side art on it. And so we have that at the office. It's Alex Ross's. We were supposed to scan it in, and then he never came and picked it up because we're still trying to scan it in well enough to do. We just haven't been able to do it. But yeah.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. No one seen this? Like, is this something we can like see or look at eventually? Or
yeah, we have it at the arcade. We have
show it or something
right now.
No, I don't mean right now. I mean like at all. Like, can you tweet something like that out or like?
Yeah, definitely. This was from like I don't know, late '90s or something like that. The game was never released, but we have it at the arcade because we could, on original arcade hardware, like burn the game onto chips and then make it playable through the original hardware. So we have a playable version of the unreleased prototype there.
Oh wow. That's cool. That's like a bonus, like a way to, I like that. I like the idea that, you guys working in that industry and getting to be able to see and play with things, play in the sandbox, so to speak, with things that you wouldn't normally necessarily get to see,
Yeah. It kind of, stimulates the creativity, which is cool.
Yeah, hell's yeah. No, that's fucking awesome. That's what I kind of was getting at before earlier when I was talking to you guys about inspirations and stuff like that. Sometimes it comes from the most unlikely of places, That's why I surround myself with all this shit. Like, here, look, there's I don't know if you guys are gonna catch it, but I have like all my hot toys around me and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So
I got my favorite movie posters behind me and stuff. So it's just like people will ask, like, why do you do that? And it's like, oh, you want to surround yourself with stuff that inspires you and makes you feel like, galvanizes you to want to get up and do shit,
Yeah.
All right, Baz, the Harley Quinn comes in at $575. I'm bringing this up because here's the exclusive head. We were looking at her for her backside when we first were looking at this. What do you think, Baz? What do you think of the exclusive portrait versus the regular? If you were to have this statue, what would you go with? Do you think
probably the OG Paul Dini Bruce Timm?
Yeah, I like that head sculpt. One thing that bothers me about this statue is that it doesn't really. I guess this is like the new Harley that they're going for.
Yeah,
and I don't think we've had enough old Harley besides cartoons to kind of. I don't know. Like, I want to see old Harley in movies, first cartoons, like the newer stuff. I want to see it done. I like the old shit. So, this newer version, yeah, she looks cool. I guess it's more like the movie design, so to speak. And the statue is friggin' beautiful, regardless. But that doesn't say Harley Quinn to me. That doesn't say crazy lunatic bitch that dates the Joker. You know what I'm saying? I guess this is like her after Joker days or something.
Yeah, this is like her anti-hero.
Yeah, I didn't like when they did that shit with Venom in the 90s. I like my villains to say kind of villainous.
Sure.
But the reason why I like the other head sculpt, besides the fact that it's the Paul Dini, is I think that because of the way she's dressed, and she would be wearing something like this on this head that like at least shows that she's nuts. Whereas like the other one just shows like a hot chick pose with the hammer.
girl.
this is like some crazy, BDSM weirdo chick with the fucking, the leather like, head thing going on and all that. So
The eccentricity is out there, on this one.
actually a more like crazy smile on this head sculpt too. Like that like psycho, I'm gonna key your car look,
Yeah.
Hottest ones are always crazy, right?
So it looks like going forward, Baz, all the Sideshow premium formats are going to be in the high fives now, which is just like, Jesus Christ.
So is that a premium format?
Yeah, it's premium format. It's 20 inches tall.
Does it have any mixed media on it?
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of people bitch about the mixed media lately. I kind of like the mixed media on at least the Sideshows I have. I like them like that. It looks like the socks are cloth.
Yeah.
If I had to guess here, and
Puffballs on the shoes.
Yeah, like exactly. Good catch there. Yeah, the little puff balls on the shoes and stockings. But I know a lot of people with like some of Sideshow's newer statues, they're like, oh, I would get if it was all sculpted. I don't like the mixed media. And I don't know. I think that the mixed media adds just adds something unique to it. It's like,
yeah, I like it. I got two statues that have it. I got the Hellboy premium format. It's got the jacket and the belt. His shorts also, and then the Lobo. His jacket is and his there's a lot on there. Is his pants, his jacket, his belt.
Which premium format was that? The one that came with dog?
Yeah. I could show it to you.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get you up on the full screen here. Where the hell is he?
Don't want to dox my room, but
oh, nice. There we go. That's fucking dope. Yeah, it's a dope statue.
Yeah.
I
needed this one, man. This was
at the top of his gun there. How friggin' tall is he, man?
It's tall. I don't know.
That's fragging awesome.
He's almost 2 feet tall.
Yeah, it's gotta be at least in over 20 inches, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure it is. And then Hellboy. Oh no, the glare.
Nice. Oh, cool, because it's that Hellboy too, right? That's like the more comic style.
Yeah, it's the classic comic Mignola Hellboy. I think that was the only way to go. I mean, I'm not huge on these, movie, remakes where I'm getting a Benedict Cumberbatch statue. I don't really care about that.
Right.
All about the comic,
Right, so you'll opt for the comic stuff more. Okay.
I got this guy up here.
Yeah.
That thing is fucking tremendous.
Yeah, bro.
I think it's so fucking big.
It almost doesn't fit up there, man. But the thing I really like about this, which people didn't like about this statue, is the whole body, the whole figure of Swamp Thing is PVC, but it's really light. Like, he's light. Where you get all the weight from is the base.
Right. He's just probably because it's just so big. I guess that's why they went with that.
Yeah, and he's all one piece. This was hand sculpted. It's not 3D. This was one of the.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because some of the premium formats you got to kind of put together, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one piece. This one.
And the heads and stuff. Wow, that's crazy.
The only statue that I do have that is of an actor's likeness which is the only statue that should ever really be of actor's likeness, is Mickey Rourke as Marv.
Nice.
he didn't even need makeup for that role.
No, man.
You get the Vincent Price.
Oh yeah, that's true. I do have a Vincent Price.
Egghead.
I love
Batman 66.
Tweeter head.
Is that a tweeter head? That's a tweeter head Two-Face, right?
Yeah, Tweeter head Two-Face, and then I got a Tweeter head Vincent Price
Egghead
from Batman 66.
What?
Yeah,
that's cool.
That is so cool.
that is awesome.
Yeah, Phil's a deep cuts guy.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that last Hellboy movie, man?
I don't know. I mean, it was fun. Like it was fun. It had a lot of lore from the comics in it, which was cool. It stayed true to that. And Mignola worked.
He made a
with
good
them
Hellboy,
lot
that guy, the actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they went overboard with the gore, because you look at Hellboy and it's not really a gory comic book.
True.
So I think they did that to hit home the R rating a lot more, where they're like, well, we got the R rating, so let's make do with it.
It wasn't as bad as they said, though. It was
yeah. I think they could have made a cool series out of it. I thought the Blood Queen was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed my Space Ghost statue if you guys want to look at it. You can see how
jealous.
broken it is.
It's not broken at all.
Oh wow!
Nice. He's pressing the phasers too.
Yeah, it's just super slick. I saw this thing on eBay and I couldn't pass it up just because of how just cartoon accurate he was. So perfect.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
And he got a little bit of a fissure right there from when he fell, but you can't really see it too bad. But yeah, this thing's awesome. This is like
that's 6 scale, right? That's got to be about 12 inches, right?
Yeah.
That's what she said. Yo, do a share screen. I want to show you this one statue I've been eyeing. See, look, they're promoting it like crazy.
That one.
No, not this one. No, I just left it on for a joke. Get the child now. This baby.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Right?
Yeah, that's a nice one, man.
That's Harley, man.
That's
Damn,
the
yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, God, here it goes.
Whoa!
Ratio.
I love their animated stuff is really cool, and that's the best. That's probably my favorite one out of all the animated statues they've done so far.
Wow, man, yeah. And that's is that PVC?
No, that might be Polystone, man.
Oh, it has to be. Look at that price, man. Yeah, if it was PVC, it'd be like $60.
16.25 tall. Yeah, inches tall. So
that is great.
That's just under the size of a premium format. I think that's like, what are they calling that? Not fourth, not sixth. It's like, but I guess that would be fourth, like fifth scale. I think they call it, where it's like just under the size of a premium format and just under the size of a hot toy. That's cool, man. That's a fucking thing. I love her, like with the, the pets and stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, you guys must have seen. I think it was probably 2 years ago. They came out with that Harley holiday shopping statue, where she doesn't have the makeup on. She got the big hat. She got the hyenas. Yeah, I got that for an ex of mine. I got her into collecting a lot. She would get like bombshells and stuff like that, the bombshell statues.
Great.
She picked that up. We actually have a local statue shop in the town I live in. And it's awesome because they try to hunt down Lobo stuff for me. I've never really been into getting like articulated figures like the Hot Toys, but I think Sideshow and Hot Toys came out with a Lobo probably like 3 years ago, and they hunted it down for me. So I'm waiting to save up some money to get that guy.
That's cool, man. The Baz and I are action figure guys. 6-inch action figure guys first and foremost, historically, I should say. And then I started getting into the Hot Toy stuff when Christopher Reeve Hot Toy was released. My middle name's Christopher. My mother got it for me when it came out for Christmas, like years and years ago, back in like 2009, I think 2010.
Yeah.
And then once they announced the Keaton Batman, I was like, oh, here it goes. And then here I got like my Star Wars cabinet over here, and I got my superhero shit over there. And I pretty much just do Hot Toys and Mezco figures for my 6-inch stuff. And I've just recently, and I know Thor, you're fucking listening. You got a show to do, pal. Everybody, the after party's over at Darth Castle DCX, by the way.
Right.
He actually hooked me up with getting into, because I've always liked this statue, the Wonder Woman premium format. That's like my favorite version of Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, I really like that one.
Awesome.
I was like in love with this from the minute I saw it, but I was like, I don't have room. You always find room, right? And I love this. And then he was like, yo, man, I got a lead on this figure, and it's only going to wind up costing me like $200. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. So I drove to Jersey to get it. And then he was like, hold on, I got a lead on you for the Superman from a different guy for $200. And I was like, I can't pass. I was like, I told my wife, I was like, I can't pass this up, because she's like, oh, we're doing statues now. Mind the Hot Toys and shit. Then when Tweeterhead came out with the Superpowers line, because I'm a big Superpowers guy, I was like, oh, here it goes with the fucking Superpowers shit, because that's like my favorite. When I think of DC characters, I think of the Superpowers stuff from when I was a kid, and Baz, he does like Mafex and you do kind of a little bit of everything though, Baz, right? You're like
I slowed the fuck down though, man. I'm trying to collect money in my bank account now. That's what I'm collecting.
It's pretty difficult.
Until you saw what's releasing soon that you were like, motherfucker. Oh, there's the rumor that at Toy Fair next month they're doing that Hasbro's going to start releasing 6-inch G.I. Joe You know, like the Star Wars Black Series or Marvel Legends figures, but they're gonna be doing GI Joes now.
Oh, cool.
Going for this year, and me and Baz were talking. He was like, "Motherfucker!" I just look, dude. You got until like Christmas season, before we gotta start worrying about that shit.
It's mostly Mezco with me right now.
Yeah.
I still have the Green Lantern Hal Jordan coming in soon. That's supposed to be released, and the Batman '89's coming out. The end of the year?
Oh yeah, the end of the year for that. So we have we normally kick the show off with this. Do you have any pickups this week, Baz?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. You got nothing. No comments.
Feels good.
Oh, feels
good.
That's cool. What about you guys? You guys pick up anything this week as far as like either collectibles or comics or like anything pop culture related?
Bill's got a toy for you.
Where is it? Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. So found this at a Goodwill. My lady friend picked it up for me, and she sent me a picture of this, and I'm like, I need this thing because it is the best ripoff. Alteration Man. Literally using the picture from Transformers, Optimus Prime. In the background.
Is like the worst Optimus Prime Transformer toy. It's just like 4 folds to make him close up. He just he basically just opens in half.
Back fucking memories of like going by the and I'm sure you guys have them too over there. Like remember going down Leidig Avenue, Baz, and seeing all like the Chinese shops with the book bags and shit.
Yeah,
have like instead of the Justice League, it would be like the American Friends.
Yeah,
Justice Amigos.
It's awesome.
And this
you have Spider-Man and Superman and the Thing on the same fucking team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The company that makes this, the company is called Machine Boy.
Nice.
We couldn't pass that thing up.
So that's all. That's all I got.
It's my ex-girlfriend used to call me. Phil, I saw a little Gene Simmons on your shelf over there.
This thing.
Yeah,
I love Kiss. I mean, this is
we're the biggest Kiss fans here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
cool. I was on. You guys know the artist RT Bear. He used to be one of the Image guys back in the day. He's a big Kiss fan too. He was just on our show. But yeah, Brandon got me this for Christmas. It's one of those stupid instruments. It's an automaton.
Not.
What does that do? Oh, okay.
You got to turn up. Go to the higher pitch. There you
Oh my god!
Got a bunch of stuff. Swamp Thing, Swampy, bunch of Lobos.
Phil used to be part of the Kiss army, so he had Kiss stuff.
Cool. My wife is the biggest Paul Stanley fan. Let me tell you, like fucking hook, line, and sinker, man. Been to a bunch of their shows, and we went with Baz a bunch of times. That became like the annual fucking the annual concert.
You met them.
I
took
met
pictures
them,
with them.
That's cool.
Got to meet them and shit at the they were doing like the Sirius XM like in the fishbowl type thing, and my wife got on the air with them, and we, they got to ask them a question and shit. So
that's awesome.
Our first concert to see them was the 30th anniversary of Kiss Alive 1 at Madison Square Garden, and they just played songs from Kiss Alive, just the first 3 albums.
Yeah.
And it was fucking amazing. It was excellent.
That sounds awesome. They put on a good show. We've been to one. I think we went to one.
Yeah, I went for like my.
You gotta like people like you watch Kiss and like I'm gonna go to this show, and I'm like, let me tell you something. I've seen just about everybody there is to see, and there ain't nobody that doesn't like Kiss. I've seen rap shows and I've seen rock shows, and like I'm like, you guys don't even if you're not even a fan, you have to just go see what the fuck these guys do.
Yeah,
it's just incredible. Yeah. The show is like, and they're fucking superhero musicians. Come on, it's like,
They named Christmas that one time, if I'm not mistaken. So you got to give it to him.
Freaking Lobo looks like he's a member of Kiss. So.
Yeah,
that's true.
Gene Simmons wishes he was fucking Lobo.
Yeah, I bet he does.
Well, did you know? Interesting thing. You guys probably know this, but the rock and roll bullhorns. Gene says that he invented that.
Bass like
Dio says he did.
Right, and Dio says he did it. But I heard an interview. It was on Joe Rogan actually. When Gene was on Joe Rogan, pretty sure it might have been another podcast, but he said the reasoning he would, he'd hold the pig like this and he would flash the symbol is because he was a big comic book fan, and Steve Ditko would put that in his comics all the time, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. So he cited that, and I thought that was really cool as a comic book fan.
There's also you got Ronnie James Dio's argument where he's doing the Malocchio, which predates all even the comic book shit.
Oh, sure.
And that's to ward off the evil spirits.
Right.
That's cool that they're
and Dio is Sicilian, so and that's where it comes from. It's an Italian thing.
Like a fucking like a groupie from like the early 1970s to come out and really like so I was there. I slept with both of them, and I'll tell you.
I love both of them, but Gene Simmons is a fucking asshole. I mean, let's face it. Yeah, but so I'll take Ronnie.
What if he's watching? Oh my God.
Oh well. I love you, Gene, but I hate you too.
Gene, no.
Yeah. But unbelievable.
You ever seen his porno? He had a what they call a celebrity porno leak from him, Gene Simmons.
No, I think I'll not watch that one.
It's horrible. It is. It's freaking,
of all
like an 80-year-old man just freaking pumping away.
Of all the videos available, I'll skip that one.
All right, my pickup of the week.
Yeah, whatever. Later on, you're going to Pornhub. Gene.
I'm going to be like, hey, Law, you want to see Gene Simmons porno? Not unless Paul Stanley's in it. So here's my pickup of the week: the Hot Toys Two-Face. I'm doing the review on it right now. That'll be out in the next 2 days. So keep an eye on the fucking channel for that. And that's basically my pickup of the week. It's fucking expensive enough. All right, so we're gonna close the show down, guys. Give you a chance one more time for people where they contact you. Obviously, those are your Twitter handles, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yes. Everywhere. Zaid Ninja everywhere.
Yeah. Same with me. And Instagram, Twitter. We also have a Zaid Comics Twitter account, which I just retweet my tweets. And then we also have the YouTube channel. So if you guys go over, I've been, commenting in the chat. Also, you could just click on our Zaid Comics right there. It's youtube.com/Zaid Comics. We talk about the book. We do updates on it every week. We do live streams of other CG creators that are coming out with new books. So yeah, we're almost to 300 subscribers. So head on over there if you guys could and hit that subscribe.
Yeah, it'd be awesome, man. Hell yeah, I'm
gonna check it out.
Sweet. Right when we call this a day, that's fucking awesome. Sounds like you guys are knee deep in this shit. So everybody in the chat, go and fucking break their balls. Zaid Ninja and Phil Pops, okay? They want to hear from you. Jump on their Instagram, jump on their YouTube channel, and like it. And go buy Magic Cop, Indiegogo. If you haven't caught the link yet, just go under Indiegogo. All right, I'm coming up. I'm closing the show down now. That's little man. I gotta. That's Captain Awesome. He used to do the channel with me, but ever since YouTube started this bullshit with if it's a kids video, we're gonna boot you and all that shit. So.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
He joins on Facebook from time to time, but that's my little buddy. So yeah, all right. Go to Indiegogo and type in Magic Cop, right?
Yeah.
Do us all a favor, right? Anyway, shout out to the guys in the chat. I usually do the quick rundown. Thor, I'm sure he's not here because he's probably getting ready for his show. So go check out Darth Castle after this. Obviously, Zaid Comics, you guys got to go with them. Not Joe Fuogo. We owe everything to this gentleman because he's apparently put us in touch with one another. So thank you, Mr. Not Joe.
Yeah, Joe's awesome.
Yeah, Joe is great.
Jay Belka, Red Cup OG, right? Who else? Kev's Matrix. I kind of lost all of your fucking comments, man. I'm sorry I couldn't keep up with you. Knee deep in the chat here. And obviously, Trev, you're my man. And I'm trying to just go back to see. And Simon was on with us earlier. So shout outs to everybody that was in the chat today.
Yeah, it was great.
Fuck everybody, like you normally do.
What does that sound? It sounds like somebody's flushing a toilet.
Yeah, that was weird.
No,
was that you, Rob?
Nah, I wasn't here, man.
Is there a fucking train running through your house or something?
I didn't hear anything. Maybe it was me. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, no, I heard it before too. All right, Baz,
All right. Magic Cop is awesome, bro. I can't wait. I'm gonna definitely. I'm gonna pledge, And
Awesome.
good luck, guys. I hope you end up making a video game so we have like this whole multimedia thing going on.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
So good luck, and hail comicsgate, man. I've been into comicsgate since the beginning, so I've been dying to hook up with more comicsgate creators. So
you coming to the convention?
when is that really happening? What's going on with that?
Ethan tweeted yesterday that May 21st, 2021, Orlando, Florida.
Oh, dude, I'm in Miami. Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
So it's gonna be like CG Fandom Menace convention.
Oh, look, you see the hat?
Yeah, I saw it, brother.
So
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready, man. I'll see you guys there then.
Yeah, awesome.
Sweet. It's
That's
gonna be
fucking
great.
We'll be there.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, go and join the official Red Cup Review, The Rebellion, on Facebook if you want to catch up with the weekly adventures of Baz and I, along with everybody else that's in the chat. So you guys are going to want to go there and join our Facebook group. That's official Red Cup Review, The Rebellion. Obviously, if you're watching this video and you haven't liked it already, go fuck yourself, okay? And you guys should have done that already. But it's all up here. It really is. I just played the cranky guy on television. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend, great Saturday night. Lay down with your lady, squeeze one out, go watch a fucking comic book movie, and obviously go buy Magic Cop. We will see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Gentlemen, stick around for 1 second after we leave, and we will see you guys later. Thanks again, Not Joe. Talk to you soon, man. Peace.
See ya.